Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I want to introduce myself. My name is Yasir Yurehan, and today I want to explain you what is participle clause. But before we go to the main topic, I want to give you know participle clause in English. English at lower and intermediate level has a relatively simple grammar. However, today's grammatical point is not one of them. If you think reporting verb we are top, don't get your hop with participle clause, cause they ain't easier. I'm telling you. So pay attention, because this presentation is going to be a little complicated, but really useful for those of you seeking grammar at C1 or C2 levels. Here's participle clause explained to you. So, what is participle clause? A participle clause is a dependent clause which uses a participle form of a verb. These clauses are used to avoid making sentences overly complicated. They are used mainly in written English, and they allow use to convey a great deal of information in a shorter form. Types of participle clause: present participle clause, gerund ing. Perfect participle clause having plus past participle. Past participle clause, past participle form at or irregular. Past participle clause replacing relative clause. Present participle clause, gerund ing. For example, getting into the lift, I realized I had forgotten my keys. Tom lost his keys while walking through the park. She left room singing happily. She left the room as she was singing happily. Amma and her sister are shopping in the mall near my house. Note, in literary style, the participle clause can come first. For example, whistling cheerfully, she left the compartment. Perfect participle clause having plus past participle. To make it clear that an action happened before another one. For example, having brushed my teeth, I realized I hadn't used my toothbrush. After I had finished brushing my teeth, I realized I hadn't used my toothbrush. Having been nominated many times, Leo DiCaprio is her all-time favorite actor. In this case, we are using a passive perfect participle, having been plus past part. To talk about the actions which are not consecutive or when the first action happened over a period of time. For example, having read the book before he knew how the film would end. I knew how to move around city, having lived there my life. Past participle clause, past participle form at or irregular. For example, shocked by the explosion, the people ran for shelter. The people were shocked by explosion and ran for shelter. The musicians stood up, surrounded by thunderous applause. The musicians stood up while they were surrounded by thunderous applause. Past participle clause replacing relative clause. Present participle clause can replace an active voice finite relative clause, the noun before the participle, the door of the action. For example, the man driving the car was not injured. The man who was driving the car was not injured. Present participle clause can also replace state verb in relative clause. If you receive an email containing a virus, delete it immediately. If you receive an email which contains a virus, delete it immediately. Past participle clause can replace a passive voice finite relative clause. The noun before the participle is its object. This is the last photograph taken of my grandmother. This is the last photograph that was taken of my grandmother. I think that's all for me. Thank you.